And we're live.
All right, welcome to the TDS Live Houston Cougars post-game show as the South Florida Bulls fall to 1-7, 0-4 in the American as they drop this one 42-27 to the Houston Cougars. Clayton Tune threw all over the field in the first half, and then he did much of the same in the second half. Seth, the final score line does not reflect the damage that was done, but kudos to Jeff Scott on the backdoor cover.
That was for the boost. That one's for the boosters right there.
I mean, what is there to say? This defense is atrocious. Put it out on Twitter right before the game ended. I'll read you their drive chart. Touchdown, punt, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Halftime, punt, touchdown, touchdown. Turnover on downs, half, which is the end of the game. So,
and both punts were like fourth and shorts that they probably could have gone for if they felt threatened.
Yep, absolutely. This Cougars offense put up 490 yards, 387 on the ground. Tune was 31 of 37 for 380 and 4 scores. He didn't feel threatened literally at all today. Any slight pressure, he was able to escape it and just dot up this USF secondary and this D-line. I feel bad for the secondary because there's no pressure up front. This D-line is pretty bad. It's the thing we were worried about all season, and it is coming back to haunt them in a ferocious way. It starts with not getting two guys on campus in James Ash and Clyde Pender Jr., or at least one of them got to campus, just couldn't keep the grades to stay on campus.
Yeah, that would help. I think that's kind of the issue, that you just don't have that push up front, and that kind of pushes issues all the way back to the back end of the defense. Now, when they do bring pressure, it's not like the defense is really sticky in man coverage either. There's a lot of issues defensively, but though I don't know if they're going to get solved. So,
not anytime soon.
No, not this season. I don't believe.
No, definitely not. It's this is just going to be what this team is. If you can't put up 45 points on offense, you're more than likely going to lose the game. Second half, I want to do a quick comparison of the first half, second half. In the second half, USF averaged 5.3 yards per play. In the first half, they were at 8.2. And it showed on the score line here. A couple of good drives in the second half, especially buoyed by that final scoring drive. But other than that, it was pretty paltry. Their third quarter drives went touchdown, which was great. Turnover on downs, fourth down sack. Turnover on downs, fourth down sack. And then the final touchdown drive of the game. You can't have that against a very talented team. I guess the bright spot, Trey Marsh, no turnovers today. That had been an issue.
Yeah, he played relatively clean, but it's still clean, I guess, relatively, right? Like no turnovers, but you still had guys that were open. He missed, and we talked about before the game, when those shots are there, you got to hit them. That one video of Marion Dawson running free with nobody around, and I'm sure is going to make the rounds for the next week on USF Twitter and message boards. So, the things you had to do offensively, which you got a lot of pressure on you because your defense is getting stops. I think 2 stops in the game.
Yes.
Really? Like 2 stops against the starting unit of Houston?
Correct.
If your defense is only going to get 2 stops, it makes it a little bit more difficult because you got a lot of pressure on you. And they weren't quite able to work under that pressure today. But they played pretty well. We'll look at the stats. Obviously, Houston's offensive stats are quite
dark
good.
Green, man.
Yeah, that's as dark as the green can get. And you see USF's not terrible. Offensively, above average, 67th percentile in EPA per play, yards per play, 80th percentile in EPA per rush. Really good explosive play rate. Like, that's one thing. Houston wasn't crazy explosive, but their success rate, 61%. That's pretty good.
Yep, 7 of 11 on third down today for the Cougars. Really what kind of helped USF kind of keep it close is the amount of penalties Houston had. 10 penalties, 95 yards. A lot of them were pretty costly for them. Just really no bright spots, quite frankly, for this game, for this team. Outside of Brian Petit, who had another 100-yard rushing effort. That's his 5th career rushing, 100-yard rushing game. It's his 9th career game with at least 10 or more carries. And his fewest yards when he gets at least 10 carries is 76 yards. The guy does well with the ball in his hands. USF was able to do that. He finished with 16 touches for 153 yards and 2 scores. That's about all you can ask from this guy. And given the state of everything else, he did everything else he could possibly do. But again, it really comes down to this defense is an abomination.
Yeah, we before the season, our the hope was maybe different scheme could get them to 85, 90 in defense, and you felt the offense is going to be better. So if you get in that range, that would give you enough to maybe win some games. The defense is still in that probably back 10 of FBS football.
Yep.
So there's not much you can do when the defense is that bad, and I don't know what else you can do. Like I said, at halftime, there's no magic schemes you can come in and run. I don't think, right? With they try to do some different things with the last staff or the last D coordinator. It's just I don't know. There's obviously issues on that side of the ball that have lingered. Really, Jeff Scott's whole tenure. So,
and we're gonna get out of here pretty quick. We've got the post-game press conference coming up pretty soon. But I mean, this is just who this team is. They're not going bowling for the for the 4th straight year, 19, 20, 21, 20, 4th straight year. There's no semblance of hope really on this defensive side of the ball, especially in. As we said, it's not going to change anytime soon. I don't think you get much from the defense, even if you let Bob Shoop. If you future endeavor him, I don't think it really matters at this point. I think you may have gotten a dead cat pounce last year against Central Florida after it. Maybe you do that, but you're going up against. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, this team is really staring down a 1-11 season and with a decent shot to retain the coach after that, even still.
Yeah, I still think Temple is pretty bad. Though I still think they'll beat Temple. But 2 wins in year 3 is not progress. So, there's not really much else to say, I don't think, on that.
No, I don't think so either.
Do we see Brown? I wonder if 4 games left. I wonder if we do see a little bit of Byron Brown. Why not? And sprinkle him in.
It's possible.
Instead of the Wildcat stuff, he was a pretty good runner, a pretty good athlete in high school. So maybe instead of the Wildcat, next week he's the guy doing those, and now you can add a pass element off that package. Could be possible.
Yep.
I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset seeing it.
No, I mean, we know who Trey Marsh is at this point, right? He's a decent quarterback, maybe a little below average. If he cuts down the turnovers, he has a pretty good game, but still misses some real easy throws that can extend drives, and that's just kind of what he is.
And maybe more game experience will help with that a little bit, but it seems to be kind of a consistent theme throughout his career. So
yeah. So we'll see. But with that said, we're going to get out of here, head to the post-game press conference. Join us on Tuesday for the podcast, and then on Wednesday we'll have a film room. We'll do some cut-ups and turn our attention to what Temple's next.
Well, there you go.
Well, how about that? So there you go. For Seth, I am Nathan. Have a wonderful Saturday, and enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, there you go.